Weather prognosticator Chad Merrill with a look at the forecast through the end of May. And on this May 19th, the winds have been rather brisk in the mid-Atlantic. This is footage from the Montgomery County, Maryland area. And we'll talk about why the winds have been brisk and what to expect for the rest of the month. Well, do you remember Tropical Storm Arthur being in the news a couple of days ago? That storm system has pushed off towards the east. It's getting sheared apart by strong winds. But the combination of this remnant low of Arthur, a very strong high pressure across New England, is funneling that air to the mid-Atlantic. That's why the winds are breezy on this Tuesday afternoon. We do have another area of low pressure. This is cut off from the jet stream or main flow of winds aloft. So this will lumber over the next couple of days into the southeast and then eventually bring rain into the rest of the mid-Atlantic. The southern parts of Virginia and West Virginia are seeing that rain on this Tuesday, but the remainder of the mid-Atlantic will see the rain fill in on Friday, and then the storm system will finally push off the coast. So, temperature extremes, as we have seen the very warm weather later in the week on Friday when temperatures were in the upper 80s, and now temperatures are much cooler. These temperature extremes are less likely heading through summer. This is climate data from Baltimore, and noticed how the temperature changes are pretty sharp in February, March, and April. But once we get into June, July, and August, we typically get into that warm, humid pattern where we don't have those large fluctuations from week to week. Instead, it's rather warm, and cold fronts don't bring markedly colder air. So we are going into the time of the year when the temperature will stabilize, but of course it will get very, very warm. The hottest weather is still a ways away. As a matter of fact, this is Richmond International, and the record high in Richmond, 105, set back July 25th, 2010. The second hottest day was August 8th, 2007 at 104 degrees. But notice, the latest date of the high temperature for individual years tends to occur in the summer, but if not, it can occur in September and October. It's a lot less common to have the hottest temperature of any particular year occur in the spring. It's more likely in the later part of the summer or the early part of the fall season. So this is a very good rundown of how that transpires in Richmond. This is the Pittsburgh area, and notice the same concept applies west of the mountains. Pittsburgh's highest temperature, August 6, 1918, of 103 degrees, but the latest high temperature typically occurs in September and October. So we'll definitely have a couple of those very warm days in the early part of the fall season across the mid-Atlantic. How are we doing with precipitation so far this year? Hagerstown has trended above average. This black line is the running average for the year. Here we are towards the middle of May. We are above that line, just below the 2018, which was a very wet year. So we definitely have plenty of precipitation across the I-81 corridor. Also east of the mountains in the Tidewater area has been trending above average for rainfall. And west of the mountains in southwestern Pennsylvania, precipitation has been above average as well. So no drought concerns across the mid-Atlantic. Here is the weather forecast though. Summertime weather is on the horizon. This North Atlantic oscillation briefly has dipped below the zero line. That's why it's a little bit cool during the middle part of the week after we had that warm spell later in the previous week. But with the jet stream lifting north, this upper level low, after it moves east of us on Friday, we are going to be in a warm, rather humid pattern for the rest of May. But I do note that we have the Comet Atlas, which will make its closest approach Friday night, May 22nd. However, the comet has dissolved into different pieces in space, so it might not be as visible. However, there will be other stars and galaxies visible because the new moon occurs on the 22nd. So if you go away, far away from city lights, you will be able to see, hopefully, Comet Atlas, but if not, other stars and galaxies. Optimal viewing weather will be across the interior mid-Atlantic, along and west of the Route 15 corridor. The skies will be clear enough to see all those galaxies. Along the coast, though, still at upper level low, it's going to be providing some clouds and showers. so along and east of 95. Not so great viewing weather for the night sky, Comet Atlas, and other galaxies on May 22nd. Don't forget to log on to almanack.com to get your subscription, not prescription, of the Hagerstown Almanac, or you can sign up for the Almanac in digital format. Have a great day.